Zoë Kravitz is being dragged by the internet after her comments about the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation.
Zoë Kravitz should have really just sat there and ate her food, but instead she decided to take from other people's plates at the dinner party, let's just say, and now it looks like she's been kicked out of the dinner party from what we're seeing.
Looks like Zoë Kravitz might be getting into it with the Smiths since her comments on the Oscar events blew up, and she just might be on the losing end in this one. With all the controversy surrounding the Smith family, it appears Will's actions have just taken things up a notch. And while that's frowned upon by many, some people seem to think Zoë Kravitz should be the last person pointing fingers, and Jaden Smith just might be one of those people. Did Will smack Zoe too? How is Jaden involved in all this? Recently, Kravitz's name has made it to virtually every news outlet since she dropped her 2 cents on the events that recently took place at the Oscars. The 2022 Oscars award show, held on Sunday, March 27th, was filled with a couple of unexpected surprises, as veteran actor Will Smith smacked comedian Chris Rock after he made what seems to have been a bad joke about Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Will then returned to his seat before shouting, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." The smack left everyone at the Oscars, and even those at home, jaws dropped. And while some people gave an instant reaction to the incident, some others took a bit of time to give their opinions. And Zoë Kravitz just happened to be one of those people that gave their opinions more recently. Several hours ago, the actress shared her disapproval of Will Smith's controversial evening at the Oscars. In a pair of Instagram posts she shared on Tuesday afternoon, Kravitz posted captions alluding to the altercation, though the high-fidelity actress didn't mention either Rock or Smith by name, but it was more than obvious she was referring to them. She wrote, "Here's a picture of my dress at the show where we are apparently assaulting people on stage now." A little less than an hour later, the Batman star shared another photo of her at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party and added the caption with a bluntly similar message. "And here is a picture of my dress at the party after the award show where we are apparently screaming profanities and assaulting people on stage now." Kravitz's attack on Will via her Instagram post was pretty shocking for everyone, because not only had Will apologized on stage to the Academy and fellow nominees, he also apologized to Chris personally the following day. His acceptance speech at the event read, "Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally," Smith wrote. "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." However, in an incredible turn of events, Kravitz's comment on Will's actions had a rather negative effect than she expected. After fans saw what she wrote, people did a little digging and discovered she had a history with one of Will's kids, rapper Jaden Smith. The discovery blew up on the internet after a Twitter user posted a screenshot from an article stating that Kravitz was involved with Jaden and captioned the post, "Zoë Kravitz, also a predator, BTW." Of course, the post caused quite a stir on the internet, and some people shared their opinions on the subject. One user wrote, "Zoë Kravitz just mad at Will Smith for telling her to stay away from his son. That's why she said all that." From the comment, it's obvious that Zoe's Instagram post gathered a lot more attention than she probably bargained for, and also prompted some fans to dig up a few remarks she made about Will's son when he was 14 years old. According to reports, the original post made on Twitter was from an interview back in 2013, where Kravitz was asked what she has to say about Jaden during an interview with V Magazine. For their June 2013 issue, Zoe said, "There were moments that I was hanging out with Jaden and thinking, I can't believe you're 14. I have to check myself. Like, what do I say to you? He has so much personality and so much swag. He's so much cooler than I am, and he's so handsome. I was always like, when you're older, we'll hang out. Nope. That's inappropriate. You were 14, said Zoe, who was 24 at the time. From that point on, things started to add up for the fans, and a lot of them were pretty vocal about the actress's involvement with Jaden at the time. One user stated that it was a pretty terrible thing to do, considering his age, and also implied that her behavior might be a Kravitz family thing. They wrote, "I'm annoyed that this only came out now. Like, her whole family is really weird, and people were keeping this a secret. her father was out dating 17-year-olds at 36. Like, WTF? Agreeing with the first person, another user expressed displeasure for her actions on the then 14-year-old boy, and even hinted that it affected him so much that he made a song about it. This is just wrong. The fact that she openly talked about this and that he wrote a song about it, it's insane, but at the same time it makes me think about that whole Kylie and Tyga situation. People only really started to care about it recently. I'm glad to see society finally considers this a problem. One other user on Reddit also condemned Kravitz, saying, "I could never imagine feeling this way about a 14-year-old as a woman in her 20s, but to feel that way and speak of it publicly? Incredibly dark Hollywood stuff." It's clear that Kravitz's history with the Smiths was in a way responsible for all the backlash that she got because of her post, even though she wasn't the only celebrity or even regular person that had an opinion about the Will Smith debacle. In fact, several other celebrities, just like Kravitz, were actually appalled by Will's reaction to the joke made by Rock at the Oscars, and they didn't hesitate to make their feelings known. One of these celebrities is Bethany Frankel, who made her stance known on an episode of her Just Be podcast. She said, "You have a presenter that's working for you at the Academy. They're working for you. They touch somebody, they punch somebody, they slap somebody. You have the person removed." The Real Housewives of New York City alum continued, saying, "You give them their awards separately. It's not like, oh hey, I know you just smacked somebody presenting, but now we're gonna give you an award." A few other celebrities also had a thing or two to say, like Tim Allen, who tweeted, "It's not okay to come up on stage and hit a dude because you don't like the humor. It's not okay at a comedy club, concert hall, or hosting some cheeseball award show." Chris Rock is a stand-up comedian and a stand-up guy who carried on. I think I would have run. In fact, people all the way up the chain too had their own views and stated that there will probably be consequences for Will's actions. This came from Whoopi Goldberg, an Academy governor, when she spoke on the idea of the Academy taking away his Oscar. "There will be consequences, I'm sure, but I don't think that's what they're going to do, particularly because Chris said, 'Listen, I'm not pressing any charges.'" And of course, there's always the humorous part in every serious conversation, and this time it came from Jimmy Fallon. America may be divided, but it was kind of nice for all of us to come together and say, "Holy crap," at the same time. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon host quipped during his monologue one day after the award show. Of course, I have to address the big moment that everyone's talking about, and that is Questlove winning the Oscar for Best Documentary. Meanwhile, Jaden Smith also had a say in all this. In fact, he currently seems to be the only member of the Smith family who has actually weighed in on the subject. Later, after the event, the Sire rapper took to social media to make a post about the incident. On Twitter, Jaden wrote, "And that's how we do it." According to his tweet, it's pretty evident that Jaden was strongly in support of his father's actions against Chris Rock, and based on the comments under his tweet, several other people also felt the same way. One Twitter user wrote, "A lot of people seem to be judging and feeling that Will Smith was so wrong. Words hurt. It was not cool for Chris Rock to make fun of Jada. Family is off limits. You can joke about me all day, but leave my family alone." A second user agreed that Jada's condition was way too much of a touchy subject for Chris to have joked about. They wrote, "Why is it that everyone is on Chris Rock's side when he clearly did feel bad about talking about Jada's condition with hair loss? Like it was funny, and clearly it was not." While the rapper didn't particularly mention anything related to Zoë Kravitz's comment, he's probably also enraged about her taking a moral upstanding. Regardless, we won't be sure until he actually says how he feels about the actress, as there was no record of him talking about the incident with her from when he was 14. Did he actually want to go out with her at that age, or she just forced him? Tell us what you think in the comments section. That brings us to the end of this video. Hope to see you in the next one.